So it was announced this week that Horizon Forbidden West is getting a complete edition. It looks as though we're getting a PlayStation 5 version very soon, which will bring together the core game and the Burning Shores DLC. And there was the announcement, the welcome announcement, that it is indeed coming to PC. And we don't have to wait too long for it. It looks as though we'll be seeing the game early next year. And it has been confirmed, oh happy day, that Nixxes will be developing it, which I think you basically predicted that weeks ago, Alex. I mean, it is logical if you think about it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, obviously the PlayStation 5 side of things, it's a Game of the Year edition. We've seen it before. There's probably not too much to discuss there. Maybe there'll be some nice little tweaks. But the PC side of things, well, we've got this question here from, let's start with this one from DarkRod99. Hi DF, now that Horizon Forbidden West is coming to PC and is being co-developed by the awesome Nixxes team, what are you hoping to see in this port? And is there any other games you want PlayStation to port to PC that can take advantage of the full power, the best of the best PC hardware? Have a nice day! Exclamation point. This one from Leftist Hominid, the Horizon Forbidden West port announcement unfortunately did not mention anything about cross-save. Are there any technical reasons for the lack of cross-save that you can think of, or is this just Sony being Sony? If they had cross-saved, I would have rebought both Spider-Man games and then rebought Horizon Forbidden West on PC. It really seems like a missed opportunity. I kind of agree with him there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think the Alex, the thing that's slightly frustrating is that it was essentially an announcement. It's coming to PlayStation, but there were zero details of the PC version. Obviously, we're in danger of moving into wish fulfillment territory here, but what do you expect to see? I mean, there are basics that we expect to see from the PC port. Basically, good scalability. Nixxes are the masters of that. We expect to see enhancements beyond the standard. Obviously, unlock frame rate, ultra-wide support, all of that is a given when there's Nixxes involved. But what else do you think we can expect to see? And what might be too much to ask for?
I would say we should expect all XeSS, DLSS, FSR, including FSR 3 and DLSS 3 frame gen, both of those frame gens. We should expect them because Nixxes has made it a priority to add those into games, their current games, and they try and use the latest version possible usually. So we should expect the highest quality there for every single respective one. I would also, the thing is both with Spider-Man and with, so even if we go back to Spider-Man, that was their first one they worked on as like fully invested. It was Sony. Yeah. It was the first one that came out.
They picked up the pieces of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, they picked up those, but that, different story. But there they even made sure to push the settings higher than you could do on the PlayStation 5 version, whether it was, just like smaller things like pushing out the view distance a little bit, pushing out the shadow resolution. But they also purposefully added in a higher resolution RT reflection mode and a like higher quality RT reflection mode, which wasn't at all there. They had to do all that work themselves. And so I'm curious whether or not they will do that with Horizon Forbidden West here, because they have the opportunity. Maybe they had the time to do it because they've been working on it for, obviously, they've been working on it for more than a year, I'm pretty sure, based upon the timelines. I would be really curious to see if they did have the time to do that. And if wish fulfillment there, I would like to see some form of ray tracing in the game. As to which one would benefit the game most, I even joked about on Twitter. I was like, RTGI would benefit the game most. It has a dynamic time of day. It's mostly open worlds, overlapping structures. But whether or not they can ship that is an entirely different question. But smaller ones like they did for Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and most recently now with Ratchet & Clank was doing AO, Ray Trace Ambient Occlusion, and Ray Trace Shadows, which are less disruptive from the art perspective and less labor intensive. So maybe we can expect something like that, which would be like additional niceties. Presuming, once again, my fear, though, always with the Sony ports is I saw it a little bit with Spider-Man Remastered. I saw it to a certain degree with, my God, what's the name of the game that I love? Returnal. And I saw it most recently with Nixxes. Nixxes with Ratchet & Clank, is that the title, there's a lot of great foundational work there, but it almost feels like it's out 2 to 3 to 4 weeks early than it really should be, because there's like low-hanging fruit issues that really arguably shouldn't be there. And I hope they don't do that for Horizon Forbidden West. I do not want to have to make a complex video explaining issues. I'd rather make a 20-minute long video that is all praise. You know what I mean? So, right.
Yeah. What do you reckon of this announcement then, Oliver?
Well, I would hope that this title in particular actually would hopefully come over in a little bit better shape, because this is a really, really well-behaved PS5 title. In terms of, I would have to imagine CPU usage and scalability, judging from what you can get out of it unlocked, totally unlocked. So I'd hope for like an equally docile PC release. But in terms of the visuals, I'm completely on board with Alex that I'd like to see some sort of RT support, because the PS5 version is already like really, really good, even relative to what you might expect from a good PC. You have a 4K 30 mode, a 4K 40 mode with CBR, and an 1800p 60 mode with CBR as well. And the game looks great in all those modes. There are unlocked options as well again. So it's a game that does not really seem like it's begging for a PC port. Obviously, to bring it to a bigger audience, that would be great, but it seems like to add an additional substantial visual feature on top of that, that would really like justify the PC version in my eyes. Right. But outside of that, it's a pretty exciting release. It's one of the best looking games on current gen consoles. The Burning Shores expansion in particular looks fantastic. Clouds. So yeah. And I'd also hope, just on top of that, I'd also hope we could get some tweakables on the image reconstruction solutions, some sharpening. I don't know what they would bring there, but just to get us more of that like really pin sharp look to the image construction, because that's something we had in the initial patch with the sort of limited TAA, in the initial patches, I should say. But then I think in June of last year or so, they updated the game with a revised TAA method that was ultimately a better TAA method, but it did soften the image somewhat, and it reduced some of that really nice pixel precise image detail. So I would sort of hope that we could emulate that a bit on PC with maybe some revised image construction or limited anti-aliasing methods.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I mean, I guess one thing about Nix's ports is that you get the gamut of upscaling and therefore anti-aliasing technologies. It will have presumably DLAA, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah, that'd be that pixel pristineness that you'd be looking for. Yeah.
And thankfully, you do have a high-end GPU.
I was going to say, Oliver, what do you want on your PC?
I do get the point that Leftist Hominid is raising, though, that there isn't much interoperability between the PlayStation and the PC versions of their game, and actually cross-save just seems like a no-brainer. I don't understand why they don't do it.
I have a guess.
Maybe they should do it, right? Because the ability to basically pick up and play your Sony games wherever you have the hardware to play them just seems like obvious. They did have that PlayStation launcher thing, which doesn't have that functionality. It just should have launched with it. It's kind of bizarre.
That's it. They don't have the infrastructure like Xbox with Microsoft has, and if you're not an Xbox title, you build your own infrastructure on the side. There's GOG cross-save plays on like Cyberpunk now.
I mean, even Ubisoft is doing it. You know, you can take your game saves across various platforms. It just makes sense, right?
I think it makes so much sense to do it from the PlayStation perspective too, because they kind of see PC now as like a new extension market, and like have allowed people to tie it back into their console experience would be just a benefit. I think it would let people play on console too. It seems weird they're not even ever doing it at all. What's that about?
Yeah. Well, it's an ongoing project, clearly. Hopefully we'll see some progress there.